What you missed on the curve with Michelle Martin and Desmond Wong on Money FM 89.3.
Chinese developer CSC Land Group said it saw a strong response at the weekend launch of Twin View in West Coast Vale. 85% of 520 units snapped up. On the line to tell us more is property consultant Karamjit Singh. Karamjit is CEO of Showsuite and a senior consultant at JLL. Showsuite.com is a new homes portal where you can experience your dream home in 3D and VR. And you can download Showsuite.com for free on the Apple App Store or at the Google Play Store. So Karamjit, what can you tell us about the strong response to Twin View over at West Coast Vale?
So I think it's a big reflection of two main things. I mean, this is nothing taking away from the fact that it seems to be a product that was well designed, well articulated. But at the top, I think there are two main things taking place in the market. Number one, demand for what is deemed to be mass market and affordable form of condominiums is very, very strong. And that came out also likewise when CDL launched its Tapestry at Tampines. Also had a very strong first day launch. And likewise, this is what we've seen at Twin View. So that's the first element. The second is a lot of developers are facing increasing delays in getting all the requisite approvals before they can launch their products. And we know that there's quite a bit of supply coming on, but most of them have been delayed, which has effectively given an opportunity for those that have now procured their approvals to sell a lot more attention in the marketplace, and attention amongst buyers on one hand and attention amongst marketing agents. So at this point of time, this was effectively the only major mass market condominium launch, and that was able to hog quite a bit of limelight. So that becomes a natural advantage to the developer, and with that they had undivided attention. So that was a great thing from a timing perspective.
So last week, the residential site at Hillview Rise drew a total of 9 tender submissions at the close of the government land sale tender under dual envelope system. What can you tell us about this?
All right. So the government is experimenting with a different concept of selling land to developers for residential developers. The most conventional form is effectively awarding the tender to the person who pays the highest price. So effectively just based on pricing. So right now there are two main parameters here, or two forms of consideration. One is pricing and the other is concept. And the concept is not so much about the architecture or what's being proposed, because that's pretty much stated and predestined in the terms of the sale. But this time the focus is all around the productivity plan around construction and construction management. So this would involve adoption of prefab technology and other form of technology like building information modeling, virtual design construction methodology, and then there was a 10% weightage on the track record of the developer. So what's happening is, again, from the big picture perspective, there is a big move by the government to shift away reliance on construction workers, and that would mean having more prefab apartments being constructed. So that would mean that in a separate location, separate from the site, you effectively have a kind of a factory that makes Lego blocks type of modules of apartments that comes almost practically fully furnished and equipped with, say, bathroom fittings and flooring. And then they are transported to the actual site. And then that's where they are stacked up and integrated. And by doing so, not only will they reduce the reliance on manpower, but also reduce the construction time and the inconvenience and disability to the neighboring plots. So that has been a big push. And this particular tender that closed yesterday is one of those new experiments about how best can they push the envelope further by attracting concept proposals from various developers.
So what do you make of these submissions? We're seeing two heavyweights, CapitaLand and City Developments Limited, banding together to submit two separate tenders with different concept proposals. What do you make of this?
So there are some quite natural partners amongst the 9 submissions that went in. You're right, there were 2 submissions made by 2 quite unlikely partners, 2 heavyweights, CDL on one hand and CapitaLand on the other hand. So they did enter into joint development projects in the past, but nothing recent. So it's an interesting development there. There were developers who went in alone, and likewise there were developers such as Chipeng Leong, China Construction went in alone, Qingqian went in alone, and then there were partners such as Yanlot and Soil Bill, Hoi Hub and Sunway. These are very traditional pairing of joint venture partners.
Karamjit, yet another property is going for en bloc. What's next?
So that process is still well underway, and there's a good chance that 100% consent from the sellers could be obtained, and that would be a benefit for both buyers as well as the sellers. The benefit to the sellers is that they could hope for completion much earlier than otherwise, and likewise the benefit to the would-be buyer is no risks around non-completion, especially if matters need to go to the Strata Titles Board of the High Court. They also can get to complete the development and move on with the launch earlier than later. What's unique here is that it's a very boutique scale of en-bloc development that should be able to appeal to smaller, medium-sized players, and these could be small developers who are looking to tear down the existing development, build afresh. The views from the units, from the development, from the high-rise development, is expected to be beautiful because it's overlooking a vast landed estate, so it's going to be unobstructed for quite a while. At the same time, we are also seeing interest from family investors who are looking to buy and own the entire development, hopefully keeping the investment for long term. We're also beginning to listen to interest or inquiries, early inquiries from those who are thinking of introducing co-living type of concepts for this because of the boutique scale of the investment here.
Thanks so much, Karamjit, for that update on the en-bloc property at Margate Point, which is a 15-unit apartment development in Margate Road with a minimum expected price of $38 million. And that wraps it up here with property consultant Karamjit Singh, CEO of Showsuite and senior consultant at JLL, joining us here on The Curve on MoneyFM 89.3.